So they want to find out what's the reasons why men have commitment issues. We're gonna dive into that tonight. Yes, Kai. You try and have a Yes, Kai, you try and have a good night too, right? We go pick up. To be honest, I ain't feeling the vibe tonight, eh? To be honest, I ain't feeling the vibe tonight. But I say I had to push through it now, boy, because it's long overdue. The first time it was, technical difficulties, and now it's just me not feeling it now, boy. All the summer days, sometimes now, boy. Has been my moments, but I can't let it get to me, not tonight. As usual, I have to make sure my people and them on standby, so I'm waiting to see her come in here. And like my connection getting some problems tonight too, but I know what's going on with it now. Alright, I'm seeing her here. Let me see if it is this here thing is working properly. And she's here. Good night, Tamika. What's up?
Hi, honey. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I was not telling the viewers and them that I wasn't really feeling the vibe tonight now, boy, but I had to push through.
Bamsir.
Eh? Nah,
Bamsir.
I mean, personal issues sometimes. We all have it. But I say I ain't gonna let it stop me now, boy.
Right.
So let me jump into it one time. So the topic is why aren't men committed, or why they don't be fully committed to relationships and things like marriage and whatnot. Now I cannot have this topic with another man because more than likely we will be sharing the same views, and I would like to be unbiased. So that's why I say let me reach out to you, and I know you're good enough to know that you're not unbiased. You are unbiased as yourself, and you have a little more insight to men as well now, boy. So to start it off, the first question I have for you, right, as a woman, what are your reasons why you think, or what are the problems that you think men face in being fully committed to relationships?
You see, you're talking to the wrong woman because by the time I finish, that will the next set of women will like me. Now, but I
There is
think
nothing. There is nothing at all. There is nothing
I,
at all.
I think we need to, how to put it? I think we need to get down to the fact where a lot of men commit a lot of insecurities. And most times they want us as women to fix them. Now tell me if I'm wrong. You'll meet a man and he'll tell you, what my mother is do, or my mother used to do, you're not in a relationship with your mother, so let us begin there. Right? Now I'm not saying that you're not going to look for somebody who have attributes like your mom. That's nice. But most men look for their mothers in women. Can't begin like that. Once they start like that, we have a serious problem. Then we have to look at the fact that some men are scared. And we don't talk about that aspect of the point. Right? Like women, men have been hurt. Men are hurt. So to be vulnerable in another situation, it's a bit iffy for some men. And most times, I think you all suppress your feelings. You all deny the fact that you all need to talk about things. So you all just hide behind this mask that you all create, and commitment is not really on the forefront for some men. Now, we also have to acknowledge the fact that the things that women do to men scare men from being committed. Vice versa.
Right, I agree. And to even extend on your points, right? I also, as a man, do believe that men actually look for their mothers in women, right? And as you rightfully say, you're not in a relationship with your mother. Yes, you love your mother, but loving someone and being in love with someone is like two different things now, boy. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And I do think a lot of men grasp that that aspect of relationships now, boy. So the way the mother would be taking care of them, they expecting women. No, I mean, yes, as a woman to a man, there are certain things you would take care of him for as well. But you need to understand that she is a woman also, and she has needs as well that you need to fulfill as a man. And sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone.
That line does irk me as a man. See that line? You see
Right?
that line?
Why?
Because what is as a man?
No, well, speaking from a man perspective, then now I mean.
So that's why now I'm asking you, what is when you say as a man? Because men love to come at you so, you know.
No, no, no.
As a man.
No. I'm not looking at it. I'm not coming from the angle of like being masculine or this, whatever is the case and thing. But I guess on the emotional and psychological level, in terms of men and women, it may differ. It may differ sometimes now, boy.
So my question goes back again. As a man, explain when you say as a man. Because this is not the first time you and I sat in a forum, and this is not the first time you ball as a man. And you are not the only man that is sit down and ball as a man. What is as a man?
No, well, I guess, how to put it? Let me try and find the right structure. Like as I said just now, like I just thinking like men and women have different psychological and emotional aspects. So, I mean, as human beings, we should be treating each other equal in a relationship, right? So you show me love, I show you love. Everything's supposed to be reciprocated, right? And I guess that is what I'm trying to come from now, boy, because a man might look for something different in a woman, which he shouldn't, because you're supposed to accept a woman not for who she is entirely, but for her being a woman, and a woman's supposed to accept a man for who he is not entirely.
You're going again.
No, help me. Help me, enlightenment, tell me where it is all going wrong, like
And
where it is all falling short.
I think that is where all our issues stem from. We are under the impression that there is a concrete or sealed definition as to what it takes to be a man or what it takes to be a woman. And then we go into relationships looking for particular roles and functions. And once it's not executed, a woman will watch a man and say you are not a man. And then a man will watch a woman and say you are not a woman. But who or what is going to define what is a man and what is a woman? What is the roles and what is the responsibilities? And I think if we do not identify this in the initial stages of us being together, we are definitely going to run into difficulties. I am perturbed by any man who watches me and tell me I am a man. Sweetheart, you need to tell me what is your definition of being a man, so I could then be in agreement with it, or I could then be in disagreement with it.
And you can make a decision based on that. If you want to take it further, I totally agree with that ideology. And to be honest, I never had looked at it in that light.
That is why relationships don't last, they don't work. You're always in a tug of war with your partner, because these are not the type of conversations that you all want to have. You want to be married? How many children you want? How you want us to raise the kids? How we seen about paying the bills? Right? Somebody like me, I will tell you up front, I can't take somebody telling me what to do, how to do it, why to do it. Not a lot of men can agree with that, because in all your head is, as a man, so whatever I say, it goes. I can't work like that. But then again, you'll meet a woman who is submissive. So probably that type of woman works for you. And then Tamika is not the person that works for you. But let us have these healthy discussions in the beginning.
Correct. I agree. And I think that, I mean, like, it is a very broad topic. Like, it has so many things you could talk about that affects relationship. But unless, just how we speaking about them as it come now, boy, the discussions really and truly don't be had. I think the whole mediocrity of meet somebody and
I
like
like somebody,
I
they're
posted up a
looking
status.
nice.
I posted up a status on Twitter. It could be probably last week, and I was like, I don't want to know what's your favorite color or what's your hobbies. I want to know like what you want to be or where you want to be in 5 years, 10 years from now, and how it will impact me and you. I will find out all them other things on the run.
And I agree with that. But here is another thing we don't take into consideration. Me now, I might be able to tell you what I want in the next 2 years. The next 2 years will come, and I might want to be that.
You could change your mind
or
circumstances. Yeah.
Correct. So my question is, what is going to happen if that arises?
Because you as a man or a woman, I mean, you as the other person in the relationship.
You as a human, let's just say you,
right.
the human person.
You might have that ideology concreted in your mind that, hey, she tell me this is what she want to do in 2 years' time and this is what we're working for. And when that time comes and you change your mind now, it's like that person may not want to adapt or they would not know how to adapt. And that as well could also be a factor regarding the whole commitment. So yeah, definitely.
I tell you, people think that relationships are set in stone, and how I feel for you today, I might feel for you, and I may or may not feel for you the same in the next 5 or next 7 years. And I am not saying if that happens, you call it quits. Now, we live in a generation where we don't work out nothing. We don't work out nothing. And I'll be the first to admit, you see, if you're pressuring me too much, I'm not into the, like, see, we can make this work. I'm not into that. Because what we fail to realize is that a lot of us commit our own personal issues outside of a relationship. Let's bear that in mind. Let me say that one more time. A lot of people fail to realize that people come with a lot of outside issues besides the issues of the relationship. Right? Now, in my case, I don't have time to play. I lost my child father 2 years ago. It's me alone rowing my boat with my daughter. That is a struggle by itself. So if I meet a man and I realize that every minute you want to argue, every minute you want to ask me where I going, who is that, what I doing, you will not get my time because already I can see we are not compatible. So instead of wasting your time and my time and our time, let us call quits to this. But then the other side to that is that, are we going to be continuously running as individuals? Are we going to be going from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship? Right? There is a saying, and I'll never forget my grandmother says, no, the devil you have, but not the devil you're going to get. Right?
Yeah, that before.
A lot of us take that very lightly. That's like you're thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Right? But the thing with commitment is that it takes a lot of, what is the word I want to use? You have to do a lot of give and take. Give and take. And for me, I am at the point where I'm not ready to do the give and take. Because the only person I find I should be giving and taking with is my daughter. So I will run from being in a relationship now because I can't do the give and take for you. And this is another thing we need to talk about. People need to be honest about what they could bring to the table. What you bring into the table. What you could do for me to better me. As they say, compromise.
And people you have to hate to do that.
But besides that, you have to be honest enough to know if you want to compromise. I'm not in the compromising stage. I'm being frank with you. I am not there yet. Because I have a guard up. And the minute I drop my guard, it means I letting you in. I'm not ready to drop my guard yet. So you cannot get compromising from me. Self-accountability, like April saying it too. So, and there's my thing. We want to commit, but what we committing to? What we committing to? Just to say, have a man, we have a girl?
No,
man, you can't do that. You can't do that.
And I was talking to a friend sometime, right? And I was telling her, like, just how you say, these are the kind of discussions that we should have in the initial stages of dating, right? Or courting. She was like, you can't expect people to be personal. Like no, like me and you now go on a date. You can't expect me to come and tell you like my feelings or like what are my desires and
that is a lie. You hear
no,
lie?
no,
That is lie.
listen.
That
I
is lie.
totally disagreed with her. No, in the past, I could look at myself, right, and my relationships, right, and I didn't used to do it. I really didn't used to. I didn't have time for that. You understand? And that line, I used to real bullshit girl. I used to real bullshit girl and sell them dreams. You understand? But now as I get older and I seeing where it is, these conversations, as much as relationships are hard, and they will always be hard, they will never be easy. At least you will have something, a structure now, boy. I mean, yes, as you said earlier on, it could change, but we have a structure to go with and work with moving forward now. And people really do take that into
Let me tell you
consideration.
this. We live in a world where women posting the toes, they posting the brand of the hair, man posting the sneakers, your location. So you can't tell me that we live in a generation where to be vulnerable, we're not doing it. We live on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
We live our lives. There are people we have never met face to face, and they are totally engulfed in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
You not wanting to be vulnerable, that is on you. Let's start there.
Right.
You not wanting to be vulnerable, sir or madam, that is on you. Social media has exposed every single one of us in ways that we can't even imagine. Right? So if you meet somebody and you find an emotional connection and you still holding back, you don't want that person to get close to you. It's not that you can't, you know. You don't want that person close to you. So let us start there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let us start there. Because conversations like this are sparked in friendships. And then conversations like this are sparked what we will call pillow talk. When a man and a woman lie down in the night time and you say, babe, you know, yesterday I'm talking to April, that I'm my friend. I talking to April and April explained something to me. And you and the man and only lie down and it's like, babe, you know, that's something we could look at in our relationship. Probably we could do it differently, or probably we could try it how April and her partner doing it, right? Being vulnerable is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And most times people need to admit that, hey, I don't want to, or I want to. But then we're taking it a step further. The person we're being vulnerable with have to remember that this person entrusted you with the past, the present, and the future. So however or whatever you do with that knowledge or that information, you are then impacting the other person's reaction after that.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Correct.
is what you need to take into consideration.
Correct. I agree. I totally agree.
Listen to me. It takes a coward to spark a relationship with somebody and they know they don't want it.
And I mean, you see it happen. You just be seeing it happening. Like that's a new way of relationships right now. That is the new trend of relationships, you know. And it is a choice to be vulnerable, and a lot of people are taking people for granted. It is happening long time, but now, like in this generation, as I say, everything just more mediocre and taboo. So it's like having consideration for somebody's feelings, that out of the question. I come in and do what I have to do, and however you take it and however it happen, that is on you. And you know, I'm not going to hold myself accountable for it now. So
I think also that we have lost the essence of what it means to be human. We have lost No, let me tell you something. We have lost the essence of what it means to be human.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Something happened, we share in a video, it going viral. You ain't even studying, okay, I wonder how this person feeling. I wonder how this person's daughter or this person's son feeling. We have lost the essence. Somebody died, we stand up and we take a picture because we want to be the first person to send the picture viral.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Come on. Come on. And I'll go back to what I said in the beginning. If you know you ain't ready, leave the people, good son or the good daughter, alone.
Correct is right.
Leave
Correct
them
is right.
alone. People have lost so much in the last 2 years. People's lives have been altered in the last 2 years. For us to continue out here trying to hurt and manipulate people, I ain't ready, so I'm not entertaining nobody good son, because I don't want to interfere in nobody good son feelings.
Correct.
We don't understand what it means to be human anymore. I am sorry.
It go now the door. It go now the door.
The thing is, right? You and I, we converse a lot. And I told you, when I realized I was suffering from depression, I couldn't tell nobody else because I thought that I'd be a laughing stock.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only when I admit to myself that I suffer from depression, I could have helped myself. And it goes back to, if people not identifying their shortcomings, we could talk from now until in the morning. Everything we say in here will not have an impact on persons.
Mm-hmm.
Let us be real.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing we need to look at is that people don't want to talk about these things. People want to talk about bags and shoes and your body and this is what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because everything for us is on a physical realm.
No, just as you said there just now, right? As me being attracted to a woman, good? Of course, the first thing we will see is a woman looks, right? I mean, let me be real. We will see a woman looks, right?
A woman also.
Well, yeah, woman, for men too, women will look at men and he handsome, whatever is the case. But a woman could still be attracted to a man. Let us say he not like a preference then. He not tall or whatever is your preference, and you could still be attracted to him in some form of fashion, especially once you get to know him. But we men know, when we look at women, your physicalities is the first thing that catches our eyes, right? And we pay so much attention on that alone that we don't have time to learn all we don't want to take the time to learn how inside a woman is, how she does think, how she does feel.
I can't agree to that fully. I think
not all men.
I think it takes a man with a high level of maturity, a high level of understanding, experience, and also there comes a point in everybody's life where it's like, hey, you see what I used to do before? I ain't doing it again. I was something different.
Yeah.
I have a thing where I tell my friends, I say, see these streets, I ready to come off these streets. And there's laugh. But underneath all is a serious thing I be saying, and they get it. Because there comes a point in time where you're looking for companionship. You're looking for somebody to hold your hand. You're looking for somebody to walk by your side. You're looking for somebody to put your chin up when your head drops. And then you also looking to give that same person what you looking for in somebody else. So you'll hear me telling my friends, you see these streets are ready to come off these streets, boy. But within coming off these streets, as I said before, you have to know what you're getting into.
You're right.
And how are we going to know what we're getting into if we don't talk about this?
And not only talk about it, as you said earlier, won't be honest with yourself.
Correct.
You need to be honest with yourself.
I want to tell men, listen, we know all your hurts. We know how all didn't have a father to give all a pattern as to what it takes to be a man or to be a father. We get that. I want to tell men that I understand it's a woman that play all you. I get that. I understand that. I want to tell men that you just give your all in a relationship and sometimes it don't work. But guess what? Women just do the same.
Same thing.
Women just do the same. And what all they don't realize is that emotionally we are a little more in depth than you guys are. Now, as my therapist does say, it didn't have no level of hurt. If you hurt and now you're hurt, I can't come and measure your hurt for you. Vice versa, you can't measure my hurt for me. So I can't come and tell you that my hurt worse than your hurt. But I need men to understand that we know that you all have been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, and so what? It might sound harsh, but my thing is, and so what?
This
You know how
is
you know how many women out here carrying a household by themselves?
Yep, yep. No,
And
and I don't mean to cut you, eh?
go ahead.
Yes, men have been hurt, right?
Men
At
are
some
hurt.
men are hurt,
Men
sorry.
are hurt.
At some point in time, right? And collectively speaking, as individuals, you have to take onus of, yo, this is what happened to me. This is what I went through. I have to move from this. I have to come out of this. And don't expect other people to hold themselves accountable, or right, as you rightfully said in the beginning, try to fix me. Those are my problems. Those are my problems. So as much as women would understand that men are hurt and they have been played and all this that they have went through, at the same time, we as men have to come out of that ourselves and make ourselves more stronger. And
But
I know it might sound a little
when
difficult because hear what most men go in and say. Most men go in and blame it back on the woman, you know. Like they will not even go in and say, well, that is my shit I had to face, right? No, you doing that and you doing this and I can't change because you this and that. Like, stop
and
blaming
the
people.
last person I was with, and you hurt me
Stop
just like the
blaming
last
people.
person,
Stop
and you
blaming
did
people.
it. So yeah, self-examine yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is not just a man thing. This is just women on a whole. Self-examine ourselves. When are we going to begin to right now? I'm writing a new book, and it's entitled "Brutally Honest."
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the book, I ask that we all take up our phones and we take a naked selfie. This is how I start the book.
Right.
And I said, within taking that naked selfie, I hope that your camera captures your fears, your insecurity, your failures, and your hardships. And I want us to look back at the naked selfie because you know why I use the naked selfie? Because we are glued to our mobile phones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I want us as individuals to look at this particular picture and ask ourselves, are we comfortable with the image that we are seeing right now? Because we'll take 1,000,001 selfies and add a filter on it. And then we'll add a next filter. And then now I'll erase that and I'll take our next one. But my question is, take a bare naked selfie of yourself and then ask yourself if you're comfortable with that. And look, Ace and Latoya saying some women don't care. And here what I will tell all you, some men don't care. So we have to stop playing that blaming game. But
Is
who
the blame
cares? Who
game?
will
Is
care?
the blame
And
game?
that's why we will never reach anywhere. We
Is the
will
blame
this
game?
women don't care, men don't care. And so what? Women will hurt, men will hurt. And so what?
We
Women
need to
have
stop
fears, men
blaming.
have fears. And so what?
We need to stop the blaming. You say nah, nah, nah.
Yeah.
But on
Yeah,
a real, on a
we
real,
don't know what direction is going in. So we ain't
yeah,
going
yeah.
there.
But no, on a real, we need to stop the blaming and we need to stop the measuring. The measure, we really need to stop that. We need to stop it because
And guess what?
just those two simple factors,
You hear?
like
Stop nothing. Stop nothing. Is good night. Good night is.
I feel, Akim, don't come on my live and get on bad. Don't come on my live and get on bad.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, yes, I must agree with you. And you know, I was talking to a colleague in work, right? And we just have discussions about relationships, about moving forward, and all these things, right? And I just get the feeling sometimes I'm listening to him, right? That he jumping on the side of like, woman is the cause, woman is the cause, you know, like, you know, always woman are boy, right? And then I have a next colleague, he will say, you know, like, women need to do better, this and that. But
Is
again,
add nothing. Is
it
we not
all
adding here. We not adding
nah,
here.
I not in him because he gonna come and just confuse this whole thing. Yes, we will talk after, right? But on a real, we need to stop blaming people. We need to stop pointing like if it's women or men or it's human beings on the whole. It's human beings on the whole. And I really don't like to use profanity in my life, but it's human beings on the whole fucking up everything. Human beings just fucking up everything. Do you understand where I'm coming from? We all have had a past. We all have made mistakes, but we as people have to own up to it. And it is the onus is on us to come out of it. Yes, there might be people there to guide us or assist us, but to say totally take us out from it, that is all on us. That is all on us.
I try to understand it. What you're saying here is women, we just stop behind some men back when they're trying to express themselves. We laugh at emotional men. Correct. She's correct. We have to agree with her there. But then again, it goes back to the level of maturity of the individual that you're dealing with. Figure where I'm coming from, because you can't ask. It's cool, eh? You can't ask a man to express himself, and then when he expresses himself, you laugh. But at the same time, a man can nag you with how he feeling. Because if I nagging you with how I feel, you just get vexed. So you know where this ball? He'll want to you. It's not serious. What you don't like for yourself, don't like for others.
Do like for others.
Don't like for others. Don't.
Yeah,
and if you know you cannot take accountability for yourself, it have no way you'll be in a relationship and be able to take accountability for somebody else.
So you say you want to ask you something, right? So here what's going on. No, listen. Here what's going on, right? I'm going to add you is. You're going to ask Tamika the question, she's going to answer you, and I'm going to disconnect you. I'm being real with you, right? Good. Nah, I'm a boy.
We don't know where it's going on.
I don't know. This is. Akim Charles.
Good night. So, before I have 2 questions.
All of a sudden, you have 2 questions now. Go ahead now, ask.
One for you, one for Timika.
Right.
Go ahead now.
So, how you take so long time? I thought they talked with Carla. So
that's one of your questions. That's
it. One.
No, when you're seeing the conversation that we are having, right, is on a man and a woman perspective, and I did not message you about it. I tell you what time the life was going to start, so you need to be like our audience like everybody else. I have a heart, and I add you, so you know you could give you a little insight. So no love lost. You're still my boy.
Listen to the question is.
Timika, good night, right? What happened?
Good night.
What I'm saying is, I was hearing you and Kyla saying that we need to stop playing the blame game, right? You think that possible? If we be honest with yourself.
No, it's not.
So I don't think all should be saying we need to stop playing the blame game because.
So that wait, hold on.
I only have one question, so let me just get it in.
You're talking, but wait, remember. We try not to talk holistically because I am not in charge of what he or she or her or him will do after this. Right? You're realizing that we keep narrowing it down to the individual, your personal perspective. Right? If 3 of us could sit in a discussion here alongside Latoya and everybody else who is agreeing that women is messed up and that not a lot of people will take accountability, why can't it begin with us? Why can't it begin with us?
It can, but alright, so you believe something you do continuously for a long time will become habit and then become behavior and then become wholly and solely a personality.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, so just like how men are thought to express themselves, so we are swayed by society that a man being overly expressive of his emotions is not manly. I'm saying a little girl, are you emotional? So that's the kind of talks we would get from women, right?
That's how you were conditioned, correct?
So naturally, it's easy for us to say, well, all right, you blame a girl for that, or you blame a girl for this, because naturally, from the time a man gets expressive of his emotions, is a problem. For some girls, that is, I ain't saying generally.
And this is why I said we need to move from talking holistically. Because we can't fix everything and everybody. And let us begin with the person in the mirror is.
That's a question. You would like a man who overly expressive of his emotions?
Not all the time.
Will you consider him what? At what point you were considering, oh gosh, but you always want to tell me how you feel, you feel, you feel, you feel. How would you receive that?
How I will receive it is that in the past 2 years, I have lost every man that I have close to me, child father, grandfather, stepfather. So now I have become like superwoman, right? We're to the point where I learned to carry my baggage by myself. So now to meet a man now who you once again tune with the emotion at this junction in my life, I'm not there. And that is why I said we need to know who we are before we decide to go with somebody else. Because a man will come now and express himself to me, and I'll tell you, so yeah, the amount of things that I going through in my personal life, for you to come and sit down and vomit out yourself to me, I don't have time for that because I'm not vomiting out myself. Ace, you're seeing my point. You're seeing my point, Ace. My point is, no, I can tell you about me, so I know what I want now.
Mm-hmm. I fully understand what you're saying, you know, and I ain't getting it wrong. We need to start with us. We need to start with ourselves in order for that to change. But we have been, saying we as in men, have been shut for so long. It's not really easy. It's not really easy.
Yeah, but Ace, you can't blame us alone. You have to start to blame your partners. If listen to me, if you want to play blame game, like play blame game. You have to blame your friends.
Oh, why?
Hold on. You have to blame your mother who's still pacifying you for the nonsense that you're still doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have to blame her sister who bobbing and weaving for you. She know what you're doing, but she covering your back because I'm a brother. Right? So you can't come now and throw the responsibility on somebody's daughter who already have responsibility of her own outside of you and expect me to carry you and expect me to fix you, Ace. You can't expect that.
I just want to safely say I still disagree with this statement because of how society painted it for so long. It just really hard to come out of that.
And I get that. And I respect that.
That's the thing, she's not saying that it can't come out, you know. She's not saying that we're going to remain stagnant like that, you know. Right? But again, individually, right? If the three of us could fix ourselves here, and we could hold ourselves accountable for our actions, right? The onus is on everybody else who watching us to do the same.
Yes, I had to be hold on. I had to be your friend and I had to tell you, hey, you run the streets for so long. You still want to do that again? I had to be your friend and I had to tell you, Ace, you run the streets for so long. You still want to run the streets again? You still want to do that? And I still encouraging you in that? And this is the kind of that we have in our group setting. Then now I have to take accountability for you being how you are. Because you see the word enabler? You see that word? Enabler?
Yeah, Carla, let's go on, madam.
But telling you, Google it. Enabler.
Sorry for the interruption. My phone keep ringing. But what I say is have a flip side to it too, you know, because sometimes some women, I keep generalizing. Oh, that's sorry. Some women don't allow a man to be expressive as well. You agree or disagree with that?
I totally agree with you.
And so that is a contribution to the difficulty in some people being. Keep calling me. Oh, that's sorry. But anyway,
I realize that.
Some women contribute to that as well. So while I might want to fix me or fix the narrative, it is difficult for I might want to express myself to a girl and be like, girl, this is how I feel, or this is whatever the case may be, and she be like, oh God. Right, she always feeling some type of way, you always feel something. I go turn to my partner, I might call her and say, dog, you know, I trying to tell this girl how I feel and she don't care about her. And so it go, and so it go, and so it goes. So let me say, out of 5 girls, 4 of them don't want to hear about your feelings. You feel when you meet the 5th girl, you go and like be expressive, you don't care about her.
And you know what I will tell you? We will always know when we meet the right person at the right time. And that's what we fail to realize.
Mm-hmm.
Everything Hold on, Ace. Hold on.
Everything.
We want to rush. Everything we want to structure. Everything we want to plan. And I ain't saying nothing wrong with that, you know. Because I ain't telling you to live today for today. But there is something in every single one of us. You see, when you meet that correct person, you see, when you meet that right person, all the toxic shit you used to put up with, you realize, but wait, there's a different kettle of fish here. You realize,
facts.
but you realize, but wait,
Facts.
Ace, you're doing things that you didn't even think you would have been doing before. You realize, hey, Ace, I didn't want to just do this for me, but I want to do this for my partner. So the next thing I would lead and say is that sometimes we hold on to the wrong people who hold us back from experiencing that feeling of self-worth, experiencing that feeling of being appreciated, experiencing that feeling like all the shit that I've been through, it was worth it because it brings me to this point.
And the reason why I smile is because it's just last week Friday, me and Ace had a conversation along these lines now, boy. Like you're holding on to your past and you're still encouraging certain things that you used to encourage, you know, and it is really what's the word I'm looking for? Prohibit you from making that change and moving forward and maturing now, boy. You understand where I'm coming from? And as she said, we will know when we meet the right person, right? People seasonal. People come in your life to teach you something. They come in your life to break your heart. They come in your life to help you. Like you as your own individual have to at least try to figure out from what is the reason for each one being a part of your life and that point in time now, boy. But the reality is that, and I haven't met the right person yet, but the reality is that when you meet the right person, right? When you meet the right person, as you said, you will realize you yourself doing things out of your comfort zone now, boy. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I agree with both of you all. No, me discrediting that more or less saying. I'm just saying it should be difficult sometimes if you're being honest with yourself. Because you might have certain
it will always be
experiences.
difficult.
Right, so you might have certain experiences as a man. You went through certain things with 2-3 years already in your life, and you might be breaks in. And same thing for that woman. She went through certain things, she breaks in. But like we say, you're two always right for each other. You find that, you know, there will still be breaks in.
Correct. But you know what stops the breaks in?
Because
but you know what stops the breaks in? Let's start to have conversations little by little by little by
I'm glad you say that.
By little.
Not
right?
everybody could do that.
Yeah,
but
but
guess
again,
what? But then guess what? That person who you think is right for you, really ain't right for you. Look at that. Look how his grammar says.
No, but you feel so for true? Like, you really feel that way now, say, really feel that true?
Yes.
Because I could be right for you, you could be right for me. And we had difficulty communicating at times, you know?
Real communication is key. And she never lie. She'd never lie.
And not just communication, eh?
Sorry,
you have to choke in listening and understanding too now, boy.
And understanding, correct.
Yeah.
And the problem we have internet
because
in this
you
generation.
see, communication,
comprehension part.
Communication is talk. We here communicating, right? But when it comes to the actually listening to somebody and understanding their point of view, it is you still going to take that as however you want to take it now, boy.
All right, here what we doing, eh? Between three of us. You name 5 of your strongest points, 5 of your weakest points. Ace, go.
Communication is one of my strongest.
Right.
Compromise.
Right.
Listening.
Right.
Now only at 3, I don't have 5.
We taking that. My turn. My weakest point. My temper. Real bad. I walk away a lot instead of communicating. 3, I take a lot of things personally. So even if you're coming at me to tell me something that will impact me, I take it personally so I don't hear. 4, I have been hurt so much that it's easy for me to walk away from anything. On the flip side to that, my heart is pure, my intentions are pure. I have a way of taking care of others instead of taking care of myself. That's 3. I can only get 3 plus 4. 3 positives, 4 negatives.
My weakness
No,
for
like,
sure, before Carla talk, my weakness for sure is patience.
I don't
Zero
have that.
patience.
So that is 4. Carla, go on.
right.
Zero
My
patience.
weakness is I genuine, like I just try to be authentic. I actually do try my best to be honest, right? I just give up. Like
Right.
I really like to give. Like you can literally not give me nothing. I'm talking about reciprocating energies, and I will
Right.
continuously give you now, boy. Right? Now I don't have a full sighted, but that is one of my strongest points, right? I do listen and try to understand people, right? I have a lot of patience. You could run me over. You could run me over before I actually blow a fuse, right? That is the four. The weakest, I do have a problem compromising. Sometimes I feel like my way is the best way, and
Right.
if it's not that way, well, freak that, I
Right.
go on, right?
Yeah.
I can be sensitive. Now, it might be a strength in some cases, but I can be a little too sensitive, and you might tell me something, and like, I would
Right
just shut off.
example.
Like, I don't
Oh,
find, eh? No, like, if it is you
no, I
tell
was
me
going to tell
something,
you
and
an example.
come now, man, what you doing?
I sensitive too.
Right? If you
I'm
tell me
super
something and I
sensitive.
don't like it,
Most
I
men
would
are
just shut
sensitive.
off. Like
No, I
silence. You're not going to get
super
nothing
sensitive
out
for
of me.
sure.
Another weak point, another weak point. I could be a bit ignorant. I could be a bit ignorant if it is I do get my own way. So it have times I could get silent, and depending on the circumstances, I could lash out on you, boy. Right?
So watch me. I don't want to be in a relationship, but Ace no Carla, right?
Wait, I want my weakness.
Hold on. And 3 of us just sat there.
Wait,
Hold
I
on.
mean,
Let it just
I
talk. Let it
can't
just
say
talk.
this.
I hate that kind
Listen,
of
listen. Oh, go on. Listen to me now.
to me, guy, I call now.
I feel so.
My
3 of us sat there and we are being right. Why you can't do that in a relationship you can't do that with somebody that you want to be with? Why you can't do that?
nah, in a relationship, for me, I don't do that. I big on communication in a relationship, and like real often. Like I would, the reason we see would now ever so
I could
often. I
be
want to know where you see me because I could be naive to certain things. Because some women there's hold back certain
Yeah. Yeah.
some women there's hold back things, and then in a particular argument they will tell you 5
But
things they've been
if
asking about before.
some men too, so let us stop saying that men and women. Listen, we really think that men and women
No,
so
remember, I can only
far
talk
apart
from
from each other. Men and women are the same. We ain't
no.
telling
So that's sweet,
about.
that's sweet. So that's sweet, that's sweet. I
and
couldn't talk, can I?
Tamika, you could correct me if I'm wrong. You could correct me if I'm wrong. Would you say that the the cultures, the conditions, the standards of social media, would you say that these are the things that making people believe that we are so different from each other? Or is it just something that
Now, I think social media has a heavy influence on us, Heavy,
I agree.
I mean, is he? Well, yeah,
A
yeah,
girl
yeah,
will
yeah.
post her picture and the caption at the bottom of it is that Instagram deleted it by mistake, because she didn't get enough likes, Or they're laughing.
No, because I
Or
see
they're
it
No,
already.
laughing.
No,
no,
because I
I
see
know.
it already.
I've heard women say that already.
Or
I
they're
see that
laughing.
already, Charlo. I see women post pictures, right? Like they will post a picture, and I will like it. The picture nice, I will like it. I will put on my phone for about 10 minutes, go back on Instagram, and I will see the same picture with all the like, and I'll be like, but I just like that
Yeah,
picture.
no, exactly.
I just like that picture. You understand? And I go on their profile. I'm not lying. I being fast. I go on their profile to see if they post the picture twice. They post it once.
I
It's one
think
picture alone. So I understand where Tamika coming from.
I think this generation or our generation, so to speak, everybody has issues. Everybody has so much issues that a lot of people become selfish, and then a lot of people breaks. A lot of people defensive now. A lot of people sensitive now. A lot of people impatient now. So you might find to actually put in the work, and as on both parties, men and women, to put in the work in that relationship, to communicate effectively, to understand each other properly. It has be like, oh gosh, it's too much. Like some people, there's he had to come ready or she had to come or come fix or come heal. Yes, that is good, but you still need to learn that person, vice versa.
Correct.
You need to
Correct.
learn each other, at least know your past a little bit so you're gonna know how to navigate what this person could take or can't take, or that kind of to tune it a little bit. Well, a lot of people do that.
But I will go back to what I said in the beginning. If you don't know yourself, or you don't want to get to know yourself, you wouldn't want to get to know somebody else. So don't waste my time. You see my time is? You see my time?
So to make again, Karen.
My time I'm a battery. No, Ace, this is not getting to know. My time I'm a battery life. Don't waste it at all. Because outside of you, I have shit to deal with. Don't forget our partner. Outside of a relationship, every man and every woman have other things to deal with.
I think that's extremely important point that raised it. You probably should say it again because a lot of women and men don't realize that.
Latoya say it's not just our generation, it's been there. It has been there, but I guess with our generation, especially with the social media now, it's more out there. It's more in the open now, boy, And we don't know how to, we really don't know how to have control of that.
With regards to Latoya too, everything that we are facing and going through as individuals was always there too, But it had a line to walk, kind of. Like it had a certain level of respect too, whether it was right or wrong. Like it had a certain level of, all right, daddy man, I had at the home, and this is what we was taught or shaped to believe, whatever. And a certain respect will go with that. A certain thing will go with that, all right?
But let's
eat when daddy reach home.
I get that, right? I get that.
And then things change, time change,
let
information
us be
change,
real.
social media.
Some men drop their responsibilities compared to the generation of my grandfather,
Facts.
By far.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I know what it is for my grandmother to tell me when daddy get paid. Daddy bringing the whole paycheck home,
Yeah.
And granny had to see about that, And this is where my problem is. When a man wanted to be like the mother, but then you ain't doing certain things like your father, come now, man. Come now, man.
Like somebody saying the beauty in this convo is that you can't change what you don't acknowledge. But when you know better, you ought to do better.
We will think so,
A lot of people don't do better.
We will think so. We will think so.
And that's something I just preach. If you know better,
you will do better. You will think so.
You will know if people know better and they literally choose not to do better. They literally choose not to do better. They know.
I tell you, one of my flaws is impatience. Look to press, boy. You telling me? I just started there. Look to press. Right, cool. Look to press. You know better, but you don't care. You just feel to do this. But you know this will be the outcome.
But it's not
to do that, and you deliberate. You make a conscious effort to do otherwise. I have a serious issue with that.
No, but at the same time, nothing is wrong with not wanting pressure in your life,
I agree.
Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with that,
How you deal with it.
Because most times, right, we don't even talk about our mental health as individuals. We don't go there.
Tamika saying most times, and it's only because I know Tamika, I agree with the most times part. If it wasn't for I would have said we don't do it at all. I telling you. It's only because I know.
I being frank.
Serious, we don't do it. We don't do it.
We don't. You see, and that is the thing what I say all the time. Because you'll find some men who I call it, I say it myself, I express it. I like to talk and reason. Everything's going on. Days where I went through, days my traumas. Are you willing to work on it? Help me. Like me. Not everybody does that.
Yeah, but I can't help you if I can't help myself. You in the middle of the sea and I still on the shoreline.
I have no problem. We can help each other.
I cannot help you if I cannot help myself.
We can help each other.
And my problem is, why are you going into a relationship and you need help for yourself? We doing that for.
That is it.
We doing that for.
You think you want to listen?
What?
You think you would always need help? You think you can really fix everything? Fix.
You will not be able to fix everything. You will not be able to fix everything. But here, why I'm telling you, it's have a lot of pretty name brand wearing broken people out here, and I ain't talking about money.
No, I understand what you're saying.
You understand what it is I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that.
What the toy? Where's the toy? I seen. I thought we was friends. I was agreeing with any comments. She
Yeah, my
running
thing.
me,
No,
8
nah.
times ago.
Yeah, my thing, Charles, yeah, my thing, Akim, right? As to make a rightfully say, nobody would never be fixed 100%, right?
I know
Because
that.
listen, now, just listen, as they grow, circumstances will continue to come. It's like situations will always be there, different
It's
situations,
life.
and
That
it's
is
life,
life.
right? But you must be mentally, right, at a place, like you must know yourself mentally at a place, if it is you willing to put yourself with somebody else.
So for
If
me,
you,
right now, I am afraid to get close to somebody because I have lost so many people in the last 2 years. What I come in and interfere with is for, and I know to myself that I have a fear of losing somebody. What are you doing that for?
So hear this. I agree with what you're saying, right? So we go into what you're saying still. You have a fear of whatever the case may be. So, but you're feeling strong. So you're trying to tell me we can help each other? Even if you lost so many
all
within
right,
the last 2 years,
all
even if
right.
you're not totally, listen here, man, even if you're not fully ready mentally to commit,
Tamika, let me take that one,
you
right?
believe
And then you can
you
talk. Let me
believe
take
Go
that
that.
one.
ahead, Kalai. Go ahead.
Hear what I saying, right?
Tell me.
You emotionally, physically, mentally equipped at a place where you want to have a relationship, right? You meet a woman, same thing. She physically, emotionally, mentally equipped to have a relationship, right? Totally go into a relationship, things going good. Years after, weeks after, whatever is the case, some kind of shit happen. Yes, all they help each other. But you see, when I come and now meet you, I don't have to help you.
Right, but you get what I'm saying.
I don't have to help you.
Yes,
We
I
will,
get. Yes, listen to me. I get what you're saying, but most times, if you have that attitude, people will just come and throw their baggage on you. That energy, this our
energy.
generation love to talk about energy.
That the word energy, yeah, but they don't
This
understand
is
it. They
our
don't understand
motto.
it. They don't
Our
understand
motto
it.
is energy. Yes, I not coming and give nobody my baggage because I know it are most days. When I go in a sour mood, I don't want to talk to nobody. What I go and get a man for, and you calling me for 3-4 days, and I watching the phone ring because I in my sour post mood. And then when I telling you now, hey, here what going on, I just had to sit down and study my grandfather just so, and I couldn't deal with you. You done start a post day. So give up 4 or 5 days I calling you and you answer, but you're not understanding the transition that I am still going through.
So you understand what I say?
I get what you're saying is.
When I come and I say, hey, this is me, this is what I go through, this is my traumas, XYZ.
Correct.
Vice versa, the two individuals say what is the,
Correct.
and they can make a decision to, hey. And I say it's impossible, you know. And I'm saying, because I say, Tamika, you know, don't worry yourself, I can handle that, and then she should get real, I can't handle it.
I
Right,
know
mean?
that right there, that pissed me off. Right there,
So
that line pissed me off.
My
I
point
know
was
when
this.
I say that.
My point was this, that we can make a conscious effort, leave flaws out, and look.
Yes, I'm gonna ask you this.
Yeah, but all they can make a conscious effort, let all the flaws out and decide to go separate ways too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna ask you this.
So you now get what I'm saying.
Yes, I'm gonna ask you this.
Tell Latoya, I say Archie and feel free.
You believe in relationships. You think that are you one of those persons in terms of you have to have somebody every single time, like you can't be by yourself?
No. I love being by myself.
Okay, just checking.
No.
Because a lot of people believe that you have to be in a relationship in order to be in a good space or comfortable or contented.
I cool just chilling. Kyle, I know that. I cool.
Yeah.
I just had to ask.
You don't have to be that for me. That's why I say Chile.
No, that's too much. That is too much.
Nah, yeah, because I tell Tamika we usually stay for an hour. It's an hour, right?
So let's wrap up.
Let's close off, right? So
right?
Wrap up nothing.
Nah, we wrapping up.
Women insecurities and
It's about that day for that. But
good.
Second, I run on the show. You gotta take your time. Because if you ever shop talk, you wanna do very same thing. So you relax, right?
no.
And listen, Latoya, it's like while you're by yourself, what are you doing to improve your mental health? Very good question.
You want me to talk about it now or after?
We could talk about it
Very,
now and we could close off with that. But
very good
Wow,
question.
she say is by. That's is a dog. With
Very
me.
good.
what are we
Very
Well,
doing? What are we doing to make away
No, but guys, like, no, let's not. It's coming to the real people and nobody doing that, right? My close off point is that conversations like these need to be. We need to do this more, right? We need to let people know that it's okay to not be okay. Like, come on, it's okay not being okay.
We need to also let people know it's okay to talk about not being okay. Because that's one
Correct.
of the biggest problems. The people
Correct.
afraid to talk. They feel shame and Lord, this one judge them and look at it a particular way. But we don't know what this conversation doing for 200 people.
We don't know.
There are people around
we don't know.
the age group that
We don't.
Which we don't know which again which boy long to what Tabika say when it is the life had not started. Individuality. You had to take, if it is you choose to take the advice from me and do what you want with it, right? If you're putting it to use or if you don't want to do it, that's up to you. But it doesn't mean that we should stop having these conversations. It doesn't mean that.
All the bottom line is we have to tell people scrap down. Take off the filter, take off the makeup, take off the chain. Right? It's our men. The mother there, the father there, and they still can't talk about it to this day. Right? And you walking around here looking to be in a relationship with somebody and you never deal with that trauma in your life. And it will have that one day when that one thing trigger you and here asking yourself, but why getting on so far?
There's also a lot of people who do not know that they have trauma.
Correct.
And so guys,
we are also out here not realizing that we influence a generation of young women to believe that your breasts need to be high and your waist need to be small and your bottom needs to be big in order to be accepted by society. And we not even understanding that.
Not just men, she used the right term, society.
We
because
are not
they do it
understanding
for men alone. They do it for the women too. Because
Correct.
they have to look better than the next girl along the road.
Correct.
But you see, because a lot of people looking for acceptance.
A lot of people looking for attention. Before acceptance, they're looking for attention.
Correct.
I tell you in the middle of the sea and I still wetting my foot on the shoreline.
Yeah.
A lot of people looking
for you to want
for
attention. For you to want attention, it means you're lacking something in your life, and
thank you
Correct.
very much.
You have to find out you have to find out where you're lacking.
Thank you very much.
Don't know that.
And you have to do it by yourself. You have to do it by yourself. You don't need nobody to tell you that or help you with that. You have to find out by yourself.
No. Carl, and listen to me. I have to piggyback off of what Ace just said. Sometimes we can't identify our problems by ourselves. Sometimes
it's true.
Sometimes we need authentic help.
Therapy.
And I think that what Tamika now say was answering not a question about what you're doing. Because you don't have to be in a relationship with somebody to identify, like, hey, you have issues with this. It could be a friend.
Yeah.
It could be a coworker because, we as human beings just subconsciously recognize things before they confess.
Yes.
So you come into work in a black suit every day and the day you wear green, nobody even paying you no mind, but you're, I managed to wear green today.
Correct.
Because subconsciously your mind recorded what going on. And somebody could tell you, hey, you just always do this. And you mightn't be aware of it. So it's not just like you have to be with somebody for them to say, well, all right, this is your issue.
So my question is, after this, what's next? That's always been my question, no? Because we could sit down my rum shops.
Yeah,
listen to me, we could sit down in rum shops. We could go for brunch. Y'all could come home by me. We could talk about this for hours. And we could raise the most valid points. And then when all of this is finished, it's always a matter of what's next.
Plant seeds in a lot of people who view this for 2 seconds or 5 seconds, 10 minutes.
Yeah, but sometimes the ground you're planting not even fertile for you to planting. So how you're planting seeds?
So what you suggest? Because nothing else could be done. If we honest, because for anything to work or for you to heal, you have to make that conscious decision to do it for yourself. And to continue doing it until you're at a place where you're satisfied that you can handle something else now. So a lot of people used to look at therapy as taboo. You go in therapy and that's a bad thing. No, therapy is fine for people who think they are fine as well. So I had to make an effort to say, like, shit, I had trauma. Oh, sorry for saying that. I had to make an effort and say, like, I had traumas, let me deal with this. And that's why I say, and for me, I will tell whoever I get involved with, hey, this is my trauma. I can't deal with this too well. And I go.
You ask me what is my solution. I think in a realm of living with so many influencers, and I use that in inverted commas, topics have to change, discussions have to change. Influential people need to start to use their influence and influence people.
Let me shake your hand.
People, I'll shake your hand
right.
right there.
She
I'm
right.
shaking
She
your
right.
hand right there.
She right.
I am telling you all, we are a lost generation. Lost. Lost. But as I say, if we could at least shift the mind of one person after doing this, I think 3 of us we made an impact.
It's the same
But
thing
it's definitely because normally what I would do is have a person come on our live and talk, and then probably the next week or the following week get our next person, right? But I think we have to sit down offer this live and come up with something because on a real.
I would say this, right? I would say this. We 3 of us have different styles, although we would have conversations because you would have conversations and Tamika would do the Men Voices Matter too, and I would do Shop Talk. But as my standpoint, I would do videos because I believe people more visual and like people can learn by writing and reading over something, but you see what you see that should record in now naturally. So that's why I would put out videos rather than
I understand what you're saying.
Conversation.
Like your style,
so you could remember, So a lot of people, like when I release If Only, we didn't even share it much and I do 6,000 views. But then a lot of people even saw Megan, who actually wrote the poem. I'm like, use the If Only girl, use the poem girl, use it that she random go free. Use the girl I really enjoy and they could express to her how they felt when they saw the video and their experiences.
And you know why I love that? And you know why what I said previously intertwined with what I just said? You see our people with the 1,000 plus and 4,000 plus likes and followers. If people begin to be real about them, about their stories and what they've been through, you know how easy it is for somebody to connect to you?
Yeah,
you know how easy it is for your story to impact somebody else. But at the end of the day, I can't tell a DJ boy what to do with their portfolio. I can't tell another influencer how to use their platform. But what I do know, money back guaranteed, is that we living in a world where there's a lot of Me Too. So when you tell your story, the response you're sure to get is, damn, Me Too, you know.
That happened to me too.
And at that point, that person or the other person on the receiving end will be comfortable enough to now talk about their traumas or express it to somebody else. And that healing process would now actually begin.
We lacking mentorship programs. We just lacking ways in which people can give back to the community and ways in which we really need a set of money and a set of funding. We just lacking it. And what I said in the beginning of this is that we have lost what it means to be human. And I will end on that point.
And we have lost it. Before Carla end the live. Even the poems that we released, where I just post the actual picture or the I'll talk about the video ones, like the If Only and the blank canvas. Me and Megan was having a conversation before she even think about me putting out a video for the poem. And a fun fact is Megan had over 400 poems written of real, raw, authentic expressing of her feelings or what she been through, whatever the case may be. I won't tell her too much, right? And when I read Blank Canvas, I was like, shit, like you just saying now and that's like you know how much shit people are going through. And
Okay.
then so when we release Blank Canvas, we get a good vibe off of it, but you have to really listen to the words to really understand it. And then I used to say the phrase, if only, if only, if only, if only.
Yeah.
And I called and I was like, yo, here's good. Write a poem with just repeating the words, if only. And whatever feelings and thoughts come to your mind, if only X, if only Y, if only this happened out. And then, no lie, about 4 minutes, I can send the poem. And when I read it, I was like, shit, you need to do a video. And like that's how it trigger off and trigger off and trigger off and trigger off. And she's not the outspoken type. So the reception she got with the messages and the DMs and the when people see her in person and thing, it was overwhelming for her. But it was good because now she was able to start that healing process on her.
And then you also build confidence as an artist. You realize that
Correct.
that the things that you're doing, the things that you're talking about, the things that you're expressing is not only you, right? And
There's a lot of people going through it.
most times people who are struggling, we tend to think that this is just a meeting. I alone here. How God so unfair? How is me alone? And you don't realize that, hey, everybody dealing with a demon.
And I would say, well, I would just tell all of the exclusive on Toxic Carlisle that it's a my only part 2. That'll drop soon. And when we dropped the video, she received a lot of real issues. People, girl, I went through this. I had not received the calls, but I went through that and they're so glad for the poem and this effort and that. And so it was a real, and I talk about for like 2 months straight. You know? Like every day is a different personality touch.
Listen to me, when I did Men Voices too, I thought I needed to take a sociology or psychology course because people would know. Like, if you all read some of the things that people express to you, right? It's like, these are people that are smiling every day and getting up and interacting with people and yeah, boy, how you going? Are you hell good? And this is what
I have stories I can't even release because
everybody
they can't
everybody
with that impact if it. Boy, trust me, it's a lot of shit.
Everybody.
I will always ask the question and it will always be, what is next?
Sorry, I dropped some more visuals. I have 2 videos to drop before the year end. So we working silently, but we working.
I love it. I feel like it. But I must say, Tamika, your insight, I ain't lying. You give me an awesome insight. And I know the topic was commitment issues with men, but they see how far it reach.
Yeah.
You see how far it reach and you see where it's stemming from. Like, yo, it's a whole lot of shit.
And you see who reach. You see who reach.
He push you back, you know.
Want to call people phone to cut off the live and all kind of thing.
Because I find out there wasn't adding me. I said, but how did not add me? I sent a request.
I see the request pending, but
no, but guys, this was worth it.
It was worth it. Charles, thank you for coming and give you a little 2 cents as well. Right?
Yeah. No scene last week.
Right, so to me come off here, I telling you,
I know you're coming on my phone. I know.
Yeah, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again, and I'll probably have a different structure or something. But yeah, because this can't stop here.
We're still waiting for you to drop the video, but we go there.
Yeah, boy.
Enjoy the night.
Everybody enjoy the night.
Still.
Right, everybody. Right.
Bye.
Later. Well, I hope all you taking everything that was said tonight. And only got 3 different perspectives, 2 male, 1 female. I'm pretty sure that some of the things that we spoke about tonight will resonate with all you. Hopefully it does, and take it into action and use it in your personal life, see your flaws, understand your issues, understand your traumas. If it is in need therapy, try and seek, help, like we are only human, you know, and we have to start treating each other way better than the way we are doing now, you know. So yeah, guys, that is it. You know, thanks for viewing, and we'll pick up on next door later.